Hi friends, welcome on Yourpedia, and this video is related to the entire information about direct PhD or integrated PhD in foreign universities. Many capable graduates who have done their bachelors like BTech, B Pharma, BCA, MCA, BSc, MSc and MBBS. I mean those who have done 4 years of bachelor and wants to get fully funded scholarship programs in foreign universities are looking for direct PhD opportunities. There are certain reasons for that. Whenever student from India plans to go for higher education abroad, he has couple of things in mind. Number one, I want best quality education, very good university from where I can get very good career in industries or academia. And obviously when you want to do that, when you want to go to the best universities, तो वहाँ पे फीस भी होता है. तो one thing which stops you from exploring those opportunities are the fees which is charged. MS courses में बहुत सा फीस लगती है, and even if you get scholarship, the scholarship is not sufficient to support fully your education. So PhD as a program gives you opportunity to get very good scholarship, not only meet your expenditure but save also. At the same time it gives you opportunity to get into very good universities and career thereof. Now this video today is about the direct PhD program. So क्या होता है direct PhD और integrated PhD और कहाँ पे होता है और कैसे हम इसको ले सकते हैं, that is what I am going to discuss with you. So these are two terms, direct PhD or integrated PhD. Direct PhD means immediately after your graduation. So if you have done your BTech or if you have done your B Pharma or if you have done your BCA of 4 years, if not then BCA plus MCA, BSc plus MSc. So I mean 3 years course is not eligible for direct PhD, 4 years course is eligible for direct PhD. So BTech in different kind of branches, BTech or BE you can call it, B Pharma, B Architect, जिन्होंने B Arch किया होता है, B Architect, they are eligible for this. And after BTech you directly get PhD program, PhD degree, and you need not to do your masters. Integrated means after graduation you go into this course and you will get 2 degrees, MS and PhD, integrated. So sort of 2 degrees you will get it. So if you invest 5 years in integrated PhD after BTech or after graduation, तो आपको 2 डिग्रीज मिलेंगी, एक MS की भी मिलेगी, PhD की भी मिलेगी. Now for foreign countries this is same thing. Integrated PhD, direct PhD is the same thing, because even in direct PhD if you join into PhD program आप MS की डिग्री लेके निकल सकते हैं. Before I go forward friends and tell you more about it, let me tell you it is difficult to get direct PhD in foreign countries. And if you get direct PhD you get scholarship and you need not to complete direct PhD. What I mean to say is कि अगर बीच में आपको लगता है कि आपका interest lose हो रहा है, after 2 years you feel that you don't want to continue with PhD, you can convert that into MS, and after 2 years you can take MS and go into the job market. That is the meaning of it. Now direct PhD when we say foreign में, तो ये कहाँ पे होती है, how many countries provide you opportunity for direct PhD? The 2 main countries are US and Australia. Understand that direct PhD is not there in Europe. So European countries के अंदर ये direct PhD option नहीं है. This is in USA and Australia. Now US में whenever a professor will advertise the PhD, whenever he will advertise PhD position in his lab, उसमें वो mention नहीं करता whether the required qualification is BTech or MTech. या BS या MS क्या है रिक्वायर्ड क्वालिफिकेशन इज नॉट मेंशन. दैट मीन्स approximately 80% of PhD positions in US can be taken after graduation also. That means 80% of the PhD positions are direct PhD also. MTech किया है तो भी अप्लाई कर सकते हो, BTech किया है तो भी अप्लाई कर सकते हो. So US is the main country where direct PhD opportunities can be explored. So 20% of the places when professor will advertise the position of PhD, they will say that masters is required. Otherwise they will say whether you are masters or graduate does not matter, you should have background, you should have skills, if you are capable you can take it. So US एक बहुत बड़ा source है direct PhD opportunities के लिए. Australia on the other hand it is not as many opportunities as US. ऐसा नहीं कि सारी position जो हैं वो direct PhD हैं. They will clearly tell where they can provide you opportunity after BTech. So ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी डायरेक्ट PhD positions है लेकिन वो clearly mention करेगा. और unlike US position where they will advertise and आप BTech भी हो सकते हैं, MTech भी हो सकते हैं. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में mention करता है whether BTech is eligible or not, MTech is eligible or not, MS is eligible or not. Now ऑस्ट्रेलिया में as you know is not a that big country as US is. US में we can target 200 to 400 universities. I mean there are lot of universities where we can get quality education. It's a huge country and lot of universities for Indian students. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर आप मान के चलो 10 से 20 यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं. और जब मैं बोल रहा हूं 10 से 20 यूनिवर्सिटीज, सो योरपीडिया ऑलवेज मेंटर्स यू फॉर गुड क्वालिटी यूनिवर्सिटीज, क्वालिटी एजुकेशन. हमने IIT को एक रेफरेंस बनाया है. सो वी विल गो टू द यूनिवर्सिटीज विच आर एट पार और बेटर देन IITs. हम ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटीज में नहीं जाएंगे जहां पे क्वालिटी एजुकेशन नहीं है. नंबर 2, if you are going for direct PhD kind of courses where university is going to pay you, university is going to give you money, वहां पे अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट्स ही होंगे, then only they will give you money, otherwise they will not give you. So PhD में एक और चीज ensure हो जाता है when you go for direct PhD courses after graduation, one thing is ensured that you are going to quality universities. आपने बहुत बार सुना होगा that there are some fraud MS courses in some fraud universities in US. Students agents के पास चले जाते हैं. There are so many consultants or agents and students go to those agents and those agents say okay, what is your background? If you are from mechanical engineering, we have universities for you, you can do MS in these universities. And those universities are not good universities in US. They are fraud universities, blacklisted universities by US government also. And those universities will take the students, take the fees from the students, and when you go there you don't get career. और स्टूडेंट्स जो 50-40 लाख रुपए अपना वेस्ट कर देते हैं वो भी है. सो दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग ऑल्सो कैन बी टेकन केयर ऑफ वंस यू अप्लाई फॉर PhD, बिकॉज नो फ्रॉड यूनिवर्सिटी विच एक्चुअली सिटिंग टू टेक मनी फ्रॉम यू विल गिव यू मनी. आई होप द पॉइंट इज क्लियर टू यू कि MS में तुम पैसा देने जाते हो, PhD में तुम पैसा कमाते हो. तो अगर कोई यूनिवर्सिटी फ्रॉड होगी और एजेंट जो होंगे वो फ्रॉड काम कर रहे होंगे, वो तुमसे पैसा भी नहीं लेते हैं. वो बहुत से ऐसे कंसल्टेंट एजेंट्स बैठे हैं जो आपसे पैसा नहीं लेंगे, वो यूनिवर्सिटी से तुम्हारा कट ले लेंगे. यूनिवर्सिटी तुमसे 50 लाख लेगी, उसी का कुछ परसेंटेज वो एजेंट्स ले लेते हैं. सो दैट इज बेसिकली नेक्सस एंड दैट इज नॉट अ गुड थिंग. सो प्लीज बीवेयर ऑफ सच यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड सच एजेंट्स. एंड MS में ऐसा बहुत होता है. इसलिए आई टेल माई स्टूडेंट्स दैट इफ यू आर गोइंग अब्रॉड फॉर स्टडीज, प्लीज गो टू अर्न and don't earn and learn and don't spend lot of money because you may enter into bogus universities. Don't do that. So ये आपका कौन कौन सी कंट्रीज में होता है, US एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया में होता है. Now what is the difference when you apply for US and what is the difference when you apply for Australia? What are the requirements? So if I tell you, obviously once I said that direct PhD opportunities are there, these are the two main countries. Now the question comes here is credentials क्या required हैं. What should be the credential in these two countries? Are the credentials different? या क्या credential चाहिए? How can I know that I am eligible to apply for direct PhD or not? Credentials क्या होने चाहिए? Now I take a typical case of a BTech student जो direct PhD के लिए target कर सकता है. One criteria is you are from premium institutes in India. प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूट्स इन इंडिया का डेफिनेशन क्या है? IIT, NIT, IIIT, IISc, BITS, वेलूर इंस्टीट्यूट, थापर, जादवपुर, कलिंगा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, you can say Punjab Engineering College, Shivpur, Indian Institute of Science and Technology, I think there is a in VJET, there is a college in Mumbai, Institute of Chemical Engineering and Technology, ICET Mumbai, similar colleges. So if I put all IIT, NIT, triple IT together, ये अपने आप में I think 23, 29 और 31, सो 50 तो यही हो जाएंगे, तो ये 60, 70 तो ये हो गए, ICs डालिए, ये डालिए तो ये 100, तो ऐसे 150 कॉलेजेस इन इंडिया आर प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूट्स, जिनका नाम लोगों ने सुना है. द नेम ऑफ दीज इंस्टीट्यूट पीपल आर अवेयर, दे आर नोइंग. This can be majority government institute and public institute in India and some private institutes also. Majorities are public domain which professors know. क्योंकि जब भी हमारे स्टूडेंट्स मेल करते हैं प्रोफेसर को, दे फर्स्ट टाइम से यस वी नो योर कॉलेज, रिस्पॉन्स उसके बेस पे वो करते हैं. तो एक तो आप इन कॉलेजेस के अगर हैं तो आपको एज होता है. एंड आपके क्रेडेंशियल जो हैं वो 7.5 प्लस CGPA आप मेंटेन रखें. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आपके क्रेडेंशियल 7.5 प्लस हैं, 8 प्लस इज वेरी गुड, 8.5 इज रियली गुड, अंडरस्टैंड. सो 7.5 से ऊपर CGPA है और आप इन कॉलेजेस के स्टूडेंट है, दैट इज वन क्राइटेरिया. दैट इज नॉट अ सफिशिएंट क्राइटेरिया, वन ऑफ द क्राइटेरिया. सेकंड, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस और रिसर्च बैकग्राउंड. रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस और रिसर्च बैकग्राउंड and research publication, these are different things. So do not misunderstand research publication with research background. Research background and research experience is different from research publication. Research background आता है कि आपके पास research experience, आपका research background क्या है. Have you done some research in your BTech project or the any other project or in internship? सो अगर स्टूडेंट ने बीटेक के अंदर अपना जो प्रोजेक्ट किया है वो ऐसा है दैट ही हैज डन वेरी गुड प्रोजेक्ट, एंड इट कैन बी 1 प्रोजेक्ट, 2 प्रोजेक्ट, एनी नंबर ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स, प्लस इंटर्नशिप बहुत अच्छी की है. इफ ही हैज डन वेरी गुड इंटर्नशिप फ्रॉम सम गुड इंडस्ट्री और एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूट एंड प्रोजेक्ट अच्छा किया है, तो अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट के बेस पे कैन यू पब्लिश द पेपर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ व्हाट रिसर्च यू हैव डन. Is your project or research work sufficient to publish the paper? अगर आप बोले हाँ मैं पेपर पब्लिश कर सकता हूँ, that means you have good research work, you have done a good research work in which you have identified a good problem and you have used some kind of tools and technologies, like you have used emerging technologies in that, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Java you have used, or Python you have used, or MATLAB you have used, और कंप्यूटेशनल फ्लूइड डायनेमिक्स यू आर यूजिंग, और एनसीज आप कर रहे हैं, मतलब सॉफ्टवेयर टूल्स यू आर यूजिंग, एनालिटिकल टूल्स यू आर यूजिंग, emerging technologies you are using. If you are using these things to do project, then that project is good. Now in Australia, if you have research publication in BTech, then only you can think of getting direct PhD. So ऑस्ट्रेलिया में डायरेक्ट PhD तभी मिलती है तुम्हें अगर बीटेक लेवल पे आपके पास रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन है, यू हैव पब्लिश समथिंग. बट इन यूएस पब्लिकेशन इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. फॉरगेट अबाउट बीटेक, इवन एमटेक से वो पब्लिकेशन नहीं मांगते. यूएस में पब्लिकेशन इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, इज नॉट मैंडेटरी, बट यू नीड टू शो गुड रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस. सो फॉर डायरेक्ट PhD वेदर इन यूएस और ऑस्ट्रेलिया, रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस, रिसर्च बैकग्राउंड होना चाहिए. इंटर्नशिप बहुत हेल्प करती है. इंटर्नशिप इज अ गुड थिंग. Internship is required. So I was telling you like what are the requirements. So एक तो आपने एक प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूट के हो गए, एक आपका CGPA अच्छा होना चाहिए, रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस आपके पास है, then these are sufficient for you to get प्रोफेसर ऑन बोर्ड. उसके बाद IELTS वगैरह की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, वो बाद में डिस्कस करता हूं. लेकिन एक पॉइंट, अगर आप प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूट के नहीं हो, ऑर्डिनरी कॉलेज के हो, तो क्या आपको डायरेक्ट PhD नहीं मिल सकता? लेट मी आंसर दिस. If you're not from premium institute, you are from ordinary college, then you need to have your CGPA 8 plus कर लो, and this thing should be strong. So if your CGPA is good and this thing is strong, you can get direct PhD. Do we have such example? Yes. Your PDI has sent many students like Anushka. She was from DY Patil, Navi Mumbai. She was from DY Patil College, New Mumbai in biotechnology, and her CGPA was very good and her internship was very good. She did her internship in one of the ISCs, and because of that she got direct PhD in Texas Tech University. So this, even if you are not from Premium Institute, you can do it, but if you are from Premium Institute, certainly you will get it. Now other than this thing, what else is required? Your IELTS should be 7 plus in all sections, 7 band plus in all section, minimum 6.5 band in all sections, don't go beyond below that. या अगर आपने TOEFL लिखना है, so then you can get 80 plus score is required in TOEFL. These are the requirements. Sir, I do not have IELTS and TOEFL, what can be done? In some rare cases, in some cases, you know, certificate of proficiency can also be used. Certificate of proficiency in English language can also be submitted. So I have made a dedicated video on this certificate of proficiency. What is the meaning of that? So certificate of proficiency in English language, if your college gives you from where you have done your BTech, or your professors give you that all the courses which you have studied, you have read, you have written, you have spoken in English. You can read, you can write, you can speak in English, you can understand English, entire curriculum was taught in English, your oral exams were asked in English. If that thing is given as a certificate, जिसका you know certificate का जो document है, what kind of template is required, your PDS के mentor से you can take that template. If your college gives that in writing, so even if you don't have this course, IELTS वगैरह, even then it can work. Or in some cases there is a Duolingo kind of, you know, small exams which take maybe 15 days, you can clear that. So PTE, Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, you can write these exams and you can go to those universities, you can, you know, get this thing. So other than that, that is required. So now these are the credentials. Are you from good college? Are you having 8 CGPA? You have research background? You are surest recipe to get direct PhD. That is the credentials recipe. After that, many things are to be done. You have to mail professor, professor will reply you back, you have to show your presentation to them, you have to impress them, you need to keep on mailing the professor, and there are so many professors in particular field. Like if I say additive manufacturing, there are so many professors. To which professor you have to mail, whether he should be professor or associate professor or assistant professor, whether he should be Indian or he should be Chinese or he should be from some another nationality, and how do you know that professor is having opportunities? That is where the role of your PDA mentors come. So your PDA mentors will tell you, okay, apply to these 20 professors. Why? Because these 20 professors have project. And how does your PDA know whether these professors have project? Because these professors have called the students of your PDA in the past also. I mean, last month they said that we want people, we want professors. So that is where actually the role of your PDA mentors come. That is there. Now coming to scholarship, friends. Now coming to scholarship. What scholarship you can expect in direct PhD? So if I talk about US, the typical scholarship varies from $2,000 to $4,000 per month. This is the typical. If you are very lucky, you may get $3,800 per month. If you are very close to big cities like New York, you will get $3,000. If you are not very lucky, you may get $2,100, but on an average $2,700. So let's assume $2,700 you get per month as scholarship. Now what is your monthly expenditure in grocery, in your house rent, in your every expenditure, that you take separate $1,500. So this is the typical monthly expenditure of Indian students in PhD program when you go there. That is all, including everything. Now out of this you can minimum save $1,000. $1,000 means 80K you can typically save when you are doing your PhD, and that is more than the salary of public sector group A services in India. And that is where I tell my students that there is an opportunity, friends. Why you are not using this opportunity? And after Chinese students, Chinese research scholars are blocked in US from joining the labs, especially for PhD. There is a huge opportunity for Indian students to join the labs in US for direct PhD and get scholarship. It's a very, very smart move, friends. If you do that, if we work together, like you give me your credential, I give you my expertise, we work together, then it is really going to work. believe me. So this is minimum scholarship you can get, and you can save that much of money. Now many students say, sir, you are advising us for PhD program of a BTech, but you told me now duration. If I tell you about the duration of PhD, so I told you that USA and Australia, these are the two destinations where you can think of going for PhD. Typically in USA, you be prepared for 5 years marathon, journey of this PhD after BTech or BS for 5 years. Here it is 3 to 3.5 years. Yes, the duration is less in Australia. But if I tell you about the scholarship, I think I forgot to mention about the scholarship in Australia. Typically you will get somewhere around 2300 Australian dollar. So that will be 2300 Australian dollars. You can save somewhere around 800 Australian dollar. That means in Indian 50,000 rupees you can save in Australia. So the money which is saved in Australia is little lesser than that of US. So scholarship is like that. Now duration is 5 years, duration is 3 to 3.5 years. Now suppose you say that, sir, I am not very sure whether I have this much of time duration with me and I can have commitment for that. This is the best part. The best part is, and I am telling you here with the lot of proofs. I mean, you listen to my students who are in direct PhD, they say this. In US there is a well established rule, policy and norm that if you want to convert your PhD into MS, after 2 years you can do that. So you can convert your direct PhD into MS after 2 years, and within these 2 years you will complete your all the courses, you will complete your credits, you will complete your requirements. And if you say your professor that I am now saturated with my work and I want to go into job market, and obviously because direct PhD or PhD in US and these countries is industrially linked PhD, that means you are doing it on a project of the industry, so you can work in the industry. So after 2 years you can do get your MS and get into the industries. You can do jobs there, and whenever you want, you are not to quit from PhD, you can convert it into part time and you can do it later stages, because there is always advantage of having PhD degree in these countries, because the salary which you get after PhD is very high compared to, it is more compared to MS. So after MS typically you get $6,000 to $7,000 in per month in core domains. IT may little higher, but in core domains you get this. But in PhD 12,000 to 15k salary per month you get. So why you will not feel like getting that? And not only initial salary, but after a couple of years when promotion is given to you or something, you start getting more reward if you have PhD with you. So that is your call, that is your decision. But suppose you have the question that what if, sir, I after 2 years if I decide that I don't want to continue, then don't think from Indian perspective. Like in India, professor may not permit you to leave the PhD. He will say either you do PhD or you go empty handed. But after National Education Policy 2020 is implemented now, even in India there is a pressure on institutes that, as per the government said, multiple entry, multiple exit and flexibility in course choice of course duration. Even in India, if a student quits from PhD, either he can get diploma after 1 year or degree after MS of 2 years, something like that he can get it. So that thing is already existing in countries like US कि अगर आप 2 साल के बाद PhD छोड़ना चाहते हैं तो आपको MS का डिग्री मिलेगा. Job after your direct PhD or MS, obviously this is the thing which I told you. Many students say, sir, PhD करने का advantage क्या है? You are telling us to do integrated or direct PhD. What is the job situation? So typically 80% of the jobs will be in industries. So what do you mean by industry? So industries core domain की जो industries हैं, every industry has R&D wing of the companies. Like let's talk about Tesla. So electric vehicles, we are expecting as a huge market in India of electric vehicles, and Tesla is a company. Where is that company situated? That is in US. General Electrical, it has its offices in Hyderabad and Bangalore. That is the placement which I got after my PhD from IIT Delhi. So General Electrical, this is in Bangalore, but where is its main R&D center? That is in US. Caterpillar, US. So all these big companies, Nvidia, Caterpillar, General Electrical, Google, all these big companies, they have R&D centers in those countries, and these companies are the biggest employer of PhDs. Moreover, when we do comparative analysis of Indian PhD with US PhD or foreign PhD, we say that in India, when you do PhD, you are working on particular problem which you identify from the research papers, not from the industries. The professor will ask you to read a couple of research papers and find the gap and do research work on that. You never approach any industry during your PhD, but abroad the professor has lot of industrial problems, lot of industrial projects. From those projects they are paying you. That means you are already working on the industrial projects, you are already increasing your industrial skills. When you are already working on the project which your professor is having from Nvidia or from let's say Tesla, and the professor is working on that problem and you are also working on that problem, so Tesla will hire you. So 80% of the jobs are in industry, the industry with which you are already working, right, like intern or something like that. 20% jobs are in academia, that means teaching job or something. In India it is said that after PhD only option for you is teaching. कुछ नहीं मिलेगा तो teaching है या teaching करते हैं, last option. That is not there in foreign countries. I mean, you will not get opportunity to teach in, only the best PhD will get opportunity to be in academia. And if you have done good PhD, जिसका बहुत बड़ा चांस है कि आप अच्छी ही PhD करोगे, तो आपको यहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगा, इंडस्ट्री एंड एकेडमिया दोनों के अंदर आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलता है. सो यू हैव नथिंग टू वरी. एंड दोज ऑफ यू हु वांट टू कम बैक टू इंडिया, सपोज यू से नो आई वांट टू कम बैक टू इंडिया, मैं इंडिया में वापस आना चाहता हूं, सो आपके पास ये दोनों ऑप्शंस हैं. एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट वेदर यू आर वर्किंग इन जनरल इलेक्ट्रिकल यूएस और इंडिया, if you can work in general electrical in US, can't you work general electrical in Bangalore? Yes, you can do that. So you can get appointment because you have degree from US, general electrical will take you, right? So these private companies, corporate companies will hire you in India. Plus all these premium institutes, they prefer PhDs from abroad. So if you want to become teacher in IITs or something back home or ISCs, you can always have postdoctorate fellowship and work as a teacher in these universities. That is another option. So this is how the entire thing goes. Now friends, if you have the credential to go for direct PhD or integrated PhD, which is same for US and Australia, those credentials if you have, and if you want to proceed forward, and I have given you example of engineering and science and pharma because these are architect and all, but if you have 4 years of graduation with you, including MBBS or veterinary doctor, if you are pharma, you are physiotherapist, you are, then you have a very good chance to do direct PhD in these countries, and that is the best opportunity as of now. If you want to get your profile assessed by me or by my team of mentors, then there is a WhatsApp group, dedicated WhatsApp group which you can join, जिसका लिंक इसके वीडियो के साथ होगा. एंड गूगल शीट यहाँ पे दे रखी है. इफ यू वांट मेंटरिंग फ्रॉम योरपीडिया, which is the largest platform mentoring students for direct PhD and PhD opportunities in top global institutes including India, योरपीडिया is the largest platform. अगर आप उसको ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं तो गूगल फॉर्म भर दो, my team will get back to you, or you can call on the number. So we have number given to you, you can go there. We have website योरपीडिया ग्लोबल का, आप उस पर जा सकते हैं. You can fill the Google form, you can associate yourself on the WhatsApp groups also. These are couple of options through which you can get connected to us. So all the very best friends, and I hope this my video will be helpful to you. If you found this video good, like it, share it further with your friends, because this is the reference video for all of you who aspire to be in direct PhD in USA or Australia. Thank you.